Hey everyone, I'm Daniel Garcia. You may know me as @Cape Scouting on Twitter, and this is Around the Cape, a series of brief conversations with players from the Cape Cod League. Today, we have Baldwin joining us, a utility man from UNC Wilmington, who had a great season with an OPS over 1,000, hitting 11 homers, and winning CAA Player of the Year. This year, he'll be playing for Cotuit, manning the infield and the outfield. Last year, he was drafted in the 15th round by the Giants, and for this upcoming draft in July, he's ranked as Prospects Live 230th best player for the draft. Thanks for joining us, Brooks.
Glad to be here.
So, how have your first couple of weeks in the Cape been so far?
Oh, they've been amazing. I had a great time last year. That's my main reason for coming back this year. I just like to come up here and have some fun, play relaxed, and just play a great game. Have fun playing for Coach Roberts every day. I love all the stuff that he teaches. I love the way he coaches, the old school mentality of just basically go out and play like you're playing wiffle ball in the backyard.
Yeah, so what are some of the things he teaches? Because I know Roberts is a legendary coach out here, and he really teaches a lot. So what has he imparted on you?
Yeah, no, the main thing I like from Coach Roberts is mainly the base running. It's helped me out a lot, being able to steal more bases, understanding like pitchers, understanding timing more, understanding his methods of how he steals bases and how he likes us to be 100%. If you're going to steal a base, you might as well be safe, is what he says. And the main thing I get from him is have competitive bats. Don't strike out. Put the bat on the ball, put it in play, make the defense make plays. And basically, he doesn't harp on us too much. He likes to just go out, swing the bat, have some fun.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Cotuit's games so far, and you guys are probably the team I've seen that runs the most. So I
Yeah,
definitely see that
yeah.
in practice already. So then let's get into some questions now. Just first, give me a scouting report on you as a player, and then what you like to do off the field.
Me as a player, I'm a guy that you can put in any position. I know basically every situation, where to go, everywhere on the field, and I've played I think every position so far up here in the Cape except shortstop and behind the plate. So I mean, I'm just a guy that likes to go out, put me anywhere. I just like being able to go play every day, have fun, play like you're playing in the backyard. I'm not a guy that's going to show a lot of power with wood right now. I'm still a little skinny guy, long and lanky, but I'd say I got good hands right now, and I'm able to make contact consistently, able to put the ball in play, be a team guy. If you need a sack bunt, I can get a bunt down, maybe a bunt for a hit every now and then. But my main thing is being able to wreak havoc on the bases, basically stealing bases, pushing guys to where you're gonna have to make an accurate throw to get me out for the most part. And I just basically I'm an old school player. I like to call scouts will say a ball player. Just stick him out there and let him play.
Yeah, so you spoke
And
about that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, off the field, I guess, is the next thing.
I mean, off the field, my off days, I kind of like to hunt and fish. I mean, here in the Cape so far, my off days, I've been in a kayak for most of it, fishing on a pond or a lake somewhere. Um, so I'm just a kind of a backwoods country boy, you could say. I like to hunt, fish, be in the woods most of the time.
Yeah, so you touched on that versatility in your answer. I've seen you play right field, second base, first base so far. What was your position growing up? Were you bouncing around growing up, and how is it? How do you balance playing all those positions and say practicing it position to position?
I actually grew up when I first started playing T-ball, Little League. I was a first baseman because I was the guy that when I was probably 3, 4, 5 years old, my dad would take a ball of socks, ball them up, and throw them at me. And he'd make me catch them. And if you didn't catch them and it hit you in the face, it wouldn't hurt. So when I was growing up in T-ball, Little League, I was the guy that got put at first base because I could catch. I mean, I've played same as I am now. I played everywhere growing up, but first base all the way up until I was about 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, they stuck me kind of second base, shortstop in the middle of the infield. And then when I got to high school, we had a top pitching prospect on our team named Mackenzie Gore, and we needed a guy that could catch him, so they stuck me behind the plate for 3 years while I was playing with him in high school. And I think that helped me out tremendously as far as seeing pitches, being able to hit velo more, just catching him every day. It helped me out seeing spin. and seeing exactly what I was going to get myself into if I wanted to play at the next level. So that helped out a lot. And then when he ended up graduating my senior year, I ended up playing second base and pitching a little bit. But growing up, I was the same way. I played everywhere. Played the infield mostly. They stuck me in the outfield when I was playing Legion ball in the summertime. And same thing when I got to Wilmington. I got to Wilmington and we needed a first baseman. So they stuck me at first base for my freshman year. Started every game at first base. And then from then on, I think I played shortstop my sophomore year. Last year I was in the outfield, and then every game at second base this past year. So I've been all over the place my whole life. That's just basically all I know how to do. Just go out there and play.
Would you say the door to catching is closed? Because catching Mackenzie Gore is a pretty difficult pitcher to catch. But I assume you haven't caught since high school.
No, I haven't caught much in high school. I almost got an opportunity the other night. We had catcher get subbed out. I got pinch hit for, and then one of our catchers got hit with a foul tip. And Coach Roberts, he said, "You got lucky because if we had to play extra innings, you were the guy I was putting back there." So it was very close. I'd be open minded to it. I wouldn't be scared to do it. If they said, "Hey, go catch," I'd put the gear on and go back there.
That's awesome. So I had mentioned how last year you were drafted by the Giants. Maybe can you take me through that process of getting selected and then choosing to go back to UNC Wilmington?
Yeah, it's always a dream growing up. That's your dream if you're a college baseball player, is to get drafted. I mean, it was exciting. It's very exciting to see your name come across the screen and know that you got drafted and a team was who they were looking for. You were who they were looking for, and that was exciting. It was a long process. I ended up being a couple of days before the deadline. I ended up just deciding didn't get what I was looking for exactly, so I went back to school. I ended up getting my degree this past year, so I got a college degree. I can say I graduated college finally, and I kind of just bet on myself to have another great year, and I think it went well. It went really good this year, so I'm just looking forward to it again this coming year.
So you definitely made improvements because, like I said, you're now ranked 230th for Prospects Live, which would put you in the earlier rounds of the draft. So at UNC Wilmington, with this extra year, what were you working on the most, and what put you in that position?
No, I mean, I was just working on basically squaring the ball up like I've done the past couple of years and kind of improving my plate discipline the most and still showing that I'm solid on defense. And I was looking to up my walk numbers a little bit, which I did. I over doubled them this year. So I've always been known as an aggressive hitter. I like to swing the bat. I always say you carry a bat out there to swing it. You don't carry a bat out there to walk. So, I mean, I was working on plate discipline, getting another strike zone better, and kind of cutting down on strikeouts a little bit. Just being able to be a more consistent hitter, more consistent contact hitter, putting the ball in play, using my speed, that kind of stuff.
And are those the areas you're still working on the most right now?
Yeah, I'm just working on being more handsy. Me and Coach Roberts work on it a lot, just using my hands, squaring the ball up. And once you get to learn to do that, then you can start driving the ball in the gaps and it'll take care of itself.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so we've spoken about your versatility on the field, but you're also a switch hitter. How long have you been switch hitting for, and what's your natural side?
I'm a natural left-handed hitter. I actually started switch hitting when I was 9 years old. I started working on it with my dad's old high school coach. He's known by a lot of guys in the baseball community, especially throughout North Carolina. And he kind of came to me and my dad one day and said, "Hey, I think you can switch it. It's just going to take a little while. We're going to have to work on it." So I did it basically under the radar for about a year from 9. And then when I was 10 years old, one day in the game, I went up to my dad. I said, "Hey, I want to start. I think I'm ready." And there was a lefty start on the mound. It was my first ever at bat right-handed. And I mean, from then on out, there's been ups and downs. It's been good. It's been bad. It was really bad throughout Little League, but sat down when finished Little League, got to high school. My dad, we sat down and talked. He said, "Hey, if you're going to switch it, you got to stick with it. If you don't, don't." But I ended up sticking with it. I worked on it a lot. It's hard to do. I mean, it's basically double work every day from both sides of the plate, and it's gotten a lot better. There's still some areas I could work on from both sides of the plate, but I just work on it every day. and try to stay consistent from both sides of the plate. I try to be basically the same hitter from both sides, try to work on the same things. There's a few different things I work on from different sides, but for the most part, it's trying to be consistent from both sides.
So what are those different things you work on from both sides?
The left-handed side, I just try to work on. At times I get a little big, so I just try to work on staying shorter, using hands more. And then from the right side, I mean, it's unnatural, so it's actually weird. I'm left eye dominant, so you would think I'd be a naturally right-handed hitter, being left eye dominant, but it's a little easier from the right side because I'm left eye dominant. But it's harder for me to pick up pitches at times. I just try to stay short, and there's a little few different things that are different from the right side. I stand a little closer to the plate. I'm more of a pull hitter from the right side, so there's certain cues that go into both sides of the plate.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you had mentioned that this is your second year in the Cape and second with Cotuit, but this year you guys are off to an incredible start, 10-2, best in either division. What's the atmosphere like this year, and what are the differences between this year and last year?
We've got a great group of guys this year. Last year we had a great team. I mean, we struggled a little bit on the mound last year pitching. We had great offense last year, but this year we've got an amazing pitching staff, and our offense is the whole team's kind of come together. We've got great camaraderie this year, and we're basically just going out and playing, having fun. We joke around with each other in the dugout a lot, and I don't know, it's a great group of guys. They're very talented, and just like Coach Robert says, you just got to polish our skills, and the more polished you can be, the more games you win.
Yeah, you guys have looked just incredible in all phases of the game so far. Like I said, I've seen a lot of your games, and it is a testament to how good the players are on your team. And since it's your second summer in the Cape, it's the second time you've used wood for a season. How do you compare that to using metal, and how comfortable are you with wood now?
No, like I said earlier, you just got to be a little more handsy with wood. There's not as much room for error as there is when you're using metal. You got to square the ball up more consistently, but I think I do a decent job of squaring it up. And just using wood, you just got to kind of focus, lock in more, and can't swing as big. Just cut everything down, stay shorter, stay quicker to the ball, and square it up.
Mm-hmm. One of the last questions I have for you is drafts coming up. Now we have 3-ish weeks till it comes. How are you feeling, and what else are you trying to show while you're here on the Cape before you hear your name called in July?
No, I'm feeling good about it this year. I mean, I'm just trying to show that I can play with the best of the best, and basically just show I make square contact, show I can run the bases good, show I'm good on defense, and hopefully somebody takes a chance again this year, and we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. So the last question I have for you is Cape-centered broadcast. So I'll be asking everyone at the end is, on days off, is there a favorite restaurant you have, or a favorite place to go? I know you mentioned kayaking, so maybe a favorite place that you kayak that in the Cape.
Now, there's a lot of little ponds and lakes here around Cotuit. I think there's a old history thing where Cotuit's the Kettleers because they call the little ponds kettles because they're old glaciers that melted from the ice age. So now there's a lot of stuff. I like to fish a lot. I do that a lot, and most time on off days I'll go out to eat with my host family and kind of sit around, talk. And luckily I got the same host family as last year, so I know them pretty well. And we just like to sit around and talk, see how life's going, see what your plans are for the future, and have a lot of fun, basically.
That's awesome to hear. And everyone, that was Brooks Baldwin from UNC Wilmington and Cotuit. Thank you all for tuning into Around the Cape. Follow me on @Cape Scouting on Twitter, on where I'll be covering Cape Cod on behalf of Prospects Live. I'll catch you next time. Thank you, Brooks.
Thank you.